Yo, welcome to United Real Therapy, people. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can see me, you can hear me, but I'm not well. I've been in bed most of the day. So big up CM for joining. Irfan and Bumbaye should be here in a minute. CM, take it away, man. Talk to me. We've got here Ahmed is telling us a bit rubbish that was.
Yeah. No. First and foremost, the 3 points is all that's important in the end of the day. I think, the performance, it was a step down from the first game, the Crystal Palace game, in terms of the intensity. If you're speaking about the first 30 minutes where we kind of saw it and really enjoyed that part of the performance. So it was a step down from there. But if you look at the Newcastle game now, definitely a step up. I think we were a lot more clinical with our chances. And Burnley they I would say shocked me because I didn't expect them to be as attacking as they were in this game. So that kind of opened up chances for us in a way. So that kind of favored us, but can't complain. We were clinical with our chances, which at times this season we haven't been, and we got the 3 goals, and from there, even when Aaron Lennon got the goal back, I think the game was over.
Irfan, welcome to the stream, bro. Listen, you gotta take it away, Irfan. I'm not well. I'm not well at all. My body's aching.
Is it because of what you just watched, or is it because you're ill in general? Is it because you just watched?
No, I'm ill. I've been in bed all day. I'm severely ill. Right, C-Dot, stop it. Stop going up after there. Yeah, I'm glad of the 3 points. I think it was a weird game. I don't know, maybe because I'm ill, but it seemed like a super weird game where Burnley, we played like we were playing 4-2, like 4. You know what I mean? It's like that old school kind of formation, like 4-2-4. Like, you know what I mean? 4-4-2. Like both teams were playing 4-4-2, and it made it an open and interesting game. But yeah, it was just a very surreal and weird game. Big up Scott McTominay. You know what? I always have to give credit when credit's due. He played as a number 8 tonight, and I thought that he was good for it. He was good for taking those pot shots at the end. I thought Sancho did well in bits. Again, Fan will come to it. He was giving the ball away a lot, and I'm absolutely dumbfounded that they took that goal away from him. It took a little touch of Ben Mee's foot. Like, that's a goal. But Irfan, listen, take it away, bro, because my voice is gone, so you need to host the show.
I mean, to be honest with you, I got to be positive because we got the 3 points. The first half we had the energy that was needed, but like I said, the first half was it sort of, we got a little bit of joy. Okay, we made some of the joy, but I didn't really see like, wow, this is a top Man United performance. But they seem to play into our hands as well. I mean, I've watched the games a lot with Burnley, and they're always quite tricky physical encounters. But this one wasn't. This was quite open. And look, I don't want to be negative and say we were crap and this and that. Although looking at Twitter, a lot of the real hardcore fans are saying we weren't very good at all. Now, the fact that we're only 4 points behind Arsenal with a game to go, a game in hand is a good thing. So let's be happy that we won. But truthfully, if you want my honest opinion, I don't think it was a good performance. I don't think it was a great performance. It had little bits and bobs, But McTominay looked good in the first half because, like I said, they gave him room for the pot shots. He was, he doesn't top teams don't give him room to get pot shots like that. They won't do it. I mean, if you think about it realistically, though, if you think of what Vidra did and he missed that chance when it came over and he missed it, and then Maguire holding the guy at the end, they could have been 2 opportunities that they score. So, bro, I mean, like, I'm a bit like, wow. I was hoping after the 3-1 first half, I thought we might push on, and like make it 4 or 5 because we need to lift our confidence. We need to get our fluidity in the game. But looking at it, like, we're still a little bit out. I mean, like, Cavani wasn't in the game at all. The guy I didn't see him do anything. I didn't see anyone involved in the game. I saw nothing in that game. So, look, I should be thankful that we won, but wow, we got a lot of work to do, bro. We have got so much work to do. I mean, I think it was helped by the fact that Matic played in a holding role. It's helped sort of, McTominay move forward. And McTominay looked good in the first half. He definitely looked good. But do I think he's Man United standard? Nope, absolutely not. But he redeemed himself in this game. And that's because he's got a guy that can, has got a much better touch and positional sense of football, much football intelligence, and that's Matic. Whether you like it or not. But Sancho is still sort of like, he's still not got the goal, the sweet foot. He's because he's giving the ball away. He's getting in good positions. I thought Greenwood should have scored a couple more, or even hit the target more. I mean, one of them he should have scored. The one where he came on his left foot and he made a save. He should have scored that. He should have just slotted in the corner on the floor, not where the keeper's hands were. So, I'm like I said, it was a strange game because they actually came at us. They didn't like sit back and just do nothing. They actually tried to play against us, which is interesting. But like I said, it's a little bit of relief, but I'm a bit worried because we're going to play Wolves on Monday. And looking at them, they're only a couple of games behind us. They're 25 points, so they're only 6 behind us. And they're a much, much better defensive unit than these guys. And like I said, they're 2 places behind us, so this is not going to be an easy game. And I was hoping that our form would be a little bit better to enable us to sort of get closer to, being on good form to take, to make it, a tough game for Wolves. But on that form, I'm not sure we're going to give Wolves a really good game. I'm just not sure. Again, it could be defeat, it could be draw. I just don't know. And that's the truth. Leaving the game today, I'm wondering, did we progress or not? I know the win was a progression, but was any footballing progression? That's my honest truth. But let me pass it to Mr. Brother Oli Bumbaye. You here, Mr. Bumbaye, yeah?
Good evening. Big up. That's my attempt at being Dino there.
Let's get some positivity because I'm negative. Yeah. Mr. CM is
telling me, man.
Yeah, but that's why we got you on, because you're the positive. You can tell me of all the things that I've missed in terms of positivity. So away you go, and let's tell all the people listening online what the good things were from the game.
Yeah. First of all, man, unfortunately, we told the viewers Dino's not feeling too good.
We told him. He's been on, but us three will take care of the show. We'll take care of it.
I think that Dino, you know what, in his rush to get out to come and host the show and that, and I think a bit of it is the shock that we actually won a game with a little bit of playing football.
The shock that McTominay looked like a best player in the first half. Don't you think that was the shock?
No, absolutely not. That's standard, man. Standard procedure. Evening, boys.
Give us a lowdown. Go on, Mr. Bombay. Give us a lowdown. Yeah.
It's one of those games that we've seen before when there are no passengers. Everybody chips in. So I thought everybody played well tonight. Maguire, man, is I'm really feeling for that boy at the moment.
You think he played well, really?
No, he wasn't a passenger, but you could see he was still doing what Maguire's been doing. The guy is got no confidence. The self-esteem has gone. He's got no self-belief. And I think these guys that Rannick brought in to help them mentally are going to be working 8 days a week with that guy. He needs it.
Definitely.
I mean, this is not the Maguire I saw at Hull or at Leicester or for England.
No.
He did have a pretty decent spell not long ago where I thought, okay, I'm not saying he's Van Dijk or anything, but, he was good and he was winning things in the air. He was looking like a central defender.
To be honest with you, though, can I just interrupt you? Can I just say, though, because when you say these things about Maguire, I think, am I too negative about this guy? Do I really like it? Because, I remember Leicester playing against us, and I remember him. And to be honest with you, he does look good for England. He does. I can't deny that. He does look good for England because he looks composed, right? But he did have a good spell for us towards the end of last season where he looked good for the last 10, 15 games or so. He looked solid. Yeah. But since that kickoff that happened on holiday and stuff, and then coming back, he's not been able to pick himself up at all. And like even today, I said to CM, holding the guy at the end, I'm like, what are you doing, man? So, I'm trying to be positive, Mr. Bumbaye, but I can't see it at the moment. Like you said, he needs 8 days of therapy a week, it really does. Maybe 9.
And you know what? Another thing as well, like, a lot of people would say that we controlled the game out or we saw the game out, and I did not agree with that. I felt like that was almost the guys gassed out, and a lot of the times there were moments where we lacked composure in our passing, in just the basic control of the game. You know, we speak about the Maguire moment. It's like there's no need to do that. I think Wan-Bissaka had a moment towards the end where he was kind of trying to turn attacker.
Sloppy. That was very sloppy. That was, bro. It was, yeah.
So we had a lot of moments, I would say, probably towards the end of the first half and throughout the second half, where the guys got tired again, and it was almost like a Crystal Palace situation, but I would say a little bit worse, where they just lacked composure. And you know, we're 3-1 up. All you need to do is control the tempo of the game.
Bro, we're 3-1 up at half time. Do you know when the last time we were 3 goals up at half time, or 3 scores 3 at half time? Do you know when the last time it was?
I think they said, what was it, that Southampton game?
I can't remember the game, but I know it was a long time. Do you know what? Do you know how long ago it was?
Ages.
February.
Wow.
Almost 10 months ago. But Mr. Bumbaye, come on. We haven't got your lowdown on the game.
Yeah, all right. So what I saw today was the moments that CM refers to and that you referred to, you know, everybody picked up on those. And I think for me, I accept that, you know, we will concede some chances because the central defense specifically, and a little bit more specifically, Harry Maguire at the moment, it's a really big problem. It folds very easily under very little pressure. And I think having played football, we've all played the game. Me playing as I'm a midfielder myself. And when you've got absolutely no confidence in your teammates behind you and you're waiting for a mistake, it's unnecessary subconscious baggage that can affect my game. So I think this is something we need to figure out. But let me hit the game first. I thought today was a good performance. And I say a good performance considering not where we want to be and what we envisage becoming, but considering what we've been performing recently. I think this was Ralph Rangnick's best game today. And the reason I think that is...
So you think it was better than Palace game? Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I thought Palace for half an hour was fabulous. The pressing was really good, and the pressure that we gave to them and how we canvassed them in their box was excellent. But then the game totally changed for the subsequent 60 minutes. It was a little bit, you know, it dropped off. It was an inconsistent performance, but very impressive first half hour. This one, throughout the whole course of the game, I accept we will concede some chances, and there might be a mistake here and there. But in terms of did we make a progress tonight, I think we did. The reason I think that, we went 4-4-2, and it was organized. I saw today we had ideas of what we were trying to do. Nobody was getting in each other's way. There was some reasonably good link-up play there. And, you know, we did have... Yeah, I thought, you know, we were a bit more fluid, we were a bit more organized, and people understood, it seemed, what they're supposed to be doing. It wasn't freestyle. And I thought today that showed that there was a lot of good performances, individual performances today. I thought Eric Bailly was really good. I enjoyed his performance. I was happy to see Wan-Bissaka back. He was all right. He did some good things. But I just need him to continue to improve his going forward play. He's a guy, I think he does get into that final third enough for me, but the problem with him is he doesn't take it upon himself to be the person that gets a good ball in, and he needs to grow in that department. But actually getting in the final third, he's not afraid to, but he almost wants to give that ball away as soon as possible. Whereas I'd like him to be counted a little bit more. Don't rely on Bruno coming in to swing it in, or Ronaldo or Greenwood. You use the pace of the ball and get a ball in. What's the worst that can happen? You got Ronaldo and Cavani in there. I mean, he has done it a few times. So I need to see a bit more of that from him. I thought Luke Shaw was really good today. Very impressed with him. Him and Sancho is a good on the left side. I like that. Scott McTominay is my man of the match. I thought Matic was good. I thought Sancho had one of his better days today. I liked what he did. You know, he played it simple. He tried to run at people. He had some success today. And he's got to grow into it as well, I suppose. These guys came off a nasty ending to the Euros. He's come to England playing for the direct rivals for a big fee, big reputation. So sometimes it'll take a bit of time. But I like Sancho in the main. I like his work off the ball. He opens up spaces for people. Greenwood is just, I adore Greenwood. He is, the cherry on top of the cake. I love him. I thought he played well. Every time Greenwood gets the ball, he knows how to take care of that ball, and he knows how to switch that play and make the right pass to make the opposition have to take a break and then switch their attention to the other side of the pitch. I don't underestimate that. He makes the right passes, and we breathe and we continue to play. Ronaldo was good today. And I like Cavani's presence is always welcome for me, guys. I just love his vibe on the pitch. He's somebody you look to, and the young lads look to, and he's there for them, confidence, helping them, and he's selfless. He's selfless. He does what he needs to do. Plays the simple passes, plays the right passes. Yeah, he might not get his goal, might not get glorious service, but his presence there is good. So honestly, today I'm really happy with a lot of individual performances, with the collective, and that is considering where we've been recently. I'm not saying this is fabulous and we're now ready to go and this is how I want to play, but I think it's a step in the right direction. I think Ralph Rangnick will be happy with what he saw from the team, and it's a good day. And my prediction came true, man. 3-1. There you go.
Is that what you said yesterday? 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah.
I went with the 3-1.
We can check. I said 1-1. What did you say, CM, bro?
Yeah, I said 1-1.
I said, I copied you. I said 1-1, and did you actually predict 1-1? Yeah, Mr. Bombay.
No, I went for 3-1 yesterday. Go back and check.
3-1. You did. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, I'm trying to this is a difficult game to sort of discuss, really, when I think about it, because my focus today is on Ralph. I'm saying, okay, Ralph, what did you do today to affect that game? So my negative is still the fact that I thought, wait a second, when I saw Donny wasn't around, I thought, has he got COVID? But he was on the bench, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So why did he not even get 20 minutes? Explain that to me. Why is he still not being?
I might have a little answer for you, because I was there. I was thinking about you actually. When it got to I thought 70 minutes, maybe I'll bring Donny on now. I don't want to bring him on too early in case they score.
In place of who, though?
In place of anybody. I didn't mind in place. You could have brought him on in place of anyone. Just if it's comfortable and we're all right, at about 70, 75 minutes, let him get a taster. Let him have a run out, whether it's maybe for Matic, maybe for Scott. I wasn't sure, to be honest, where. Yeah. But I think Ralph, he played a lot of these guys when we have the players to make a switch. He wants them to get 90 minutes in. He wants the levels to increase. He wants the fitness levels, the stamina levels all upped, because they're not up to scratch.
Definitely.
And I'm saying that thinking about the way, for example, he spoke about Paul Pogba. He said, look, Paul's back from injury. But Paul, even when he is fit, then he's got to reach the level that I want him in order to play in this side. And I think a lot of these lads, if you look at us last year, we were the team that ran the least, and it was a big thing on Sky Sports, and we had a problem with it here on the channel, and a lot of the guys that watched the channel, a lot of the United Therapy family were saying the same thing. And we've gone now, we want to play for a guy who is it's like saying to our boys, right, you're going to play like Liverpool now. This is what we want every week, when usually you're not running, you're not doing anything. So I think making that extra increase in energy and stamina over an extended period of 90 minutes, it is going to take a little bit of work. So I think that, he could have brought Greenwood off, maybe put Rashford on, maybe brought Lingard on, maybe rested Ronnie earlier, maybe rested Cavani earlier, but he didn't, did he? He could have. I mean, that game, even with 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I find, Mr. Bumba, I find it strange, though, because when I think about what decisions he made today, surely you give some of your other players a 15 minutes or 20-minute run, like Lingard needed the time today. Donny needed the time today. Rashford could have had 10 minutes, they're the first three. I mean, like, let's be honest. He brought Dalot on, but kept Wan-Bissaka on. So he brought Dalot on as a midfielder. So it didn't make any sense to me. Why would you bring Dalot as a midfielder and not use Donny? I don't get it. So I'm still a little bit like that with Ralph.
But Burnley, like you said, you know, there were moments where you thought, but Burnley were still in the game, and they scored just one goal. It could, you know, it could upset the balance. Today, when the game's playing out, sometimes McTominay was fabulous. I thought today, and Matic played really well. So it was difficult to, you know, take one of them off, and you can see, okay, we can give somebody 10 minutes. But maybe that's somebody like Lingard or Donny. They're not my starters.
Yeah, but like I'm talking in terms of game management. I'm talking about if you have a guy that can pass the ball, you know, make triangles in the middle all day long, and just keep hold of the ball, which is what we need to learn to do to keep hold of the ball better. He was the perfect guy. So today I'm looking at Ralph today saying there's something very odd with Donny not playing even like for 5 to 10 minutes. I know I've got, you know, I really like the guy. And you know, I don't have a big hatred of McTominay, regardless of what Stephen and a few people online say. Look, I thought he had a good game, but I don't see him as a Man United. I won't lie, I don't see him as a Man United midfielder. I just don't.
But who?
I don't see McTominay as a Man United midfielder, but I think he's got a role on the bench and then to come and do things. But I don't see him as a gold standard Man United midfielder. I just don't. I mean, I look at all the midfielders in the Premier League, but he was our main guy in the first half. He was our best player. There's no denying that. He was.
I understand what you're saying, Irfan.
I just find him a bit bulky. I find him quite old school. I don't find him like these neat, you know, like someone called him McShavy here, but I'm used to seeing Shavy type midfielders. I'm used to seeing midfielders that can turn on sixpence. People have got amazing touch. The ball's like glued to the ball. That's what I'm looking to do.
I mean, there's a lot of people, bro. There's a lot of people, and with all due respect, honestly, you know, it's opinions. End of the day, what we want is the best for Man United and to tune in, win games, and enjoy the performance. That's for sure. But you're asking somebody who, when I look at McTominay, I see a strong 7 out of 10 player that's not world class at anything, but he's good at a lot of things. And I really, really have liked this midfielder since he came out. And I do get a lot of shit from my boys from this channel, because when I see him, I see a player that is comfortable at taking the ball from defense in difficult situations.
Yeah,
he's strong, he's aggressive defensively. He's got great temperament since he came out, even in big games. He's not a guy that won't apply himself. You know, if you're playing against Neymar, he won't show respect. He might not have a great game, but his temperament is good. I think the biggest thing that I disagree with a lot of people is the passing of McTominay. When I watch him, when I've seen him play, Scott McTominay can switch balls, can pass forward. But today I was watching him specifically. A lot of the time, Scott McTominay, when you're playing, for example, in a 4-4-2, the forward pass is not on. There isn't a lot to hit sometimes. So, but you know, he does a safer pass, but keeps the ball ticking over. But he can pass through the midfield on the ground into feet. He has got a decent pass on him over the top.
I've never seen that pass though. I've never seen that pass. Like I've seen Lindelof do it from the back. You know, like ball over the top. I've never seen a cutting edge pass.
You know, today, if you watch Scott McTominay in midfield, a lot of nice balls switching over to Sancho. Diagonal balls, opening up the game. There was a lovely ball into Ronaldo, and he's really, you know, he drives that ball as well. And Scott McTominay today with the shooting, it's not a surprise. He was a striker at Man United. He's got a really good shot percentage, Scott McTominay. He's got a good shot, and you've seen it last year. People maybe were a bit surprised. If he's allowed to vacate the space and make late runs in, you know, to join the attack, he is effective. He knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. So,
because look, if you look at it just purely on looking at what Scott does, Scott is a very physical. He's 6'3", 6'4". He's a big guy. I think he's suited to Italy. I don't think he's suited to the Premier League. I don't think he's got, because let's be honest, the way football changed in the modern era, it was little guys who could turn on the sixpence, who had amazing ball control. Well, you know, and that's how the game changed. And most of the clubs have got players like that. We're one of the few clubs that have got these big, like, you know, big midfield. I mean, look at their guy. What's he called? The guy who plays for them. Got a very sweet left foot. Played. What's his name now? I forget his name.
Neil.
Yeah, McNeil. Now he is more of a Man United midfielder than Scott McTominay is.
Is
Now,
that possibly?
I want Scott to do well. Don't get me wrong, but
No, you know what? Let's see him come in.
sorry, yeah, you go with it.
Yeah. One thing I'll say is that, because I was gonna ask a question. Is that possibly then managers not using Scott McTominay in his best areas? Because I'm thinking today, and he's shown it in previous games, even under Ole, when he's allowed to go forward, when he has a midfielder next to him that's disciplined, knows his role, knows
Like
that
Matic
all his
today,
like Matic, that needs to just break up play, you know, keep it simple and just move on. McTominay is allowed to go forward and affect the game, going, you know, whether it's scoring goals, getting in there as a last midfielder, getting ahead on it, or just striking it from outside the box. Is that then the managers not using him to his strengths?
Well, I think the answer to that question is not a simple one, because a lot of players, I think, are suffering in different ways because of the instability, because managers we went through a period, if you remember, we needed to protect the defense, and that's how Fred and McTominay came about. So it all just depends on, you know, one player's ability and freedom depends on the players around him. And I think that's one of the problems that Ralph Rangnick has to fix. But Scott McTominay, in terms of what I think he's capable of, I'm not surprised by what I see from him. I've maintained that he can pass the ball forward. I think he's very good as a central defensive midfielder. You know, he's a solid boy. And going forward and, you know, joining attacks, as I say to you, he was a striker, but because he had such a very fast growth spurt, they made him into a midfielder to utilize him there. So Scott,
in a Darren Fletcher type way, he reminds me of like the Fletcher sort of vibe.
I think he's, compared to Darren Fletcher, I think I see a little bit different player. You know, Scott McTominay, Darren Fletcher, in terms of his link-up play and stuff, is better. I think, you know, one-touch passing link-up play, I think Fletcher was underrated in that department. He's a good player. But in terms of, because they're Scottish and stuff like that, maybe the comparison comes a bit strong. Scott, defensively, is a little bit more tenacious, more aggressive. You know, in a tackle, he's more solid, I believe. Although Fletcher was all right as well.
Yeah, Fletcher was pretty good at that.
Scott is a poor man. Scott, sometimes when I watch him and making those late runs, tee him off, he'll have a shot, or, you know, he'll go ahead of the striker. You slip him through, like you've seen it against Leeds. There's a lot of strings to his bow, but he's not world class at anything, I don't think, Scott. But for me, he's a very valuable player. But everybody around him, you know, everybody will depend on everyone else. It's like the midfield will struggle if the attacking players just can't hold on to the ball and make anything happen, and we lose it. The fullbacks will get caught out if we're losing the ball in ridiculous positions and they're just hitting us in transition. The whole team has to start functioning better as one unit. This is why we've been called Vibes FC. When you're playing on vibes and stuff like that, it's difficult. It's difficult.
But mate, we're still Vibes FC, because I don't see a fluid game from us. I still don't see it yet. And look, I understand that you can't ask for miracles from Ralph yet. You just can't. It's too early. Even though, like, we're hoping for a miracle game to game, and suddenly we're going to see this suddenly fluid football, this pressing football, or this change where there's a real style of play. We're hoping it's going to happen, but we know in the real world it's not going to happen. Although the game is saying to us, you have to have it in the next game. You have to have it the game after. There's no time for you to get 6 games to get ready. Football don't work like that. Football has changed. The pressure is on every single game to win. So look, I mean, we made it quite a long discussion about our midfield, but like I've always said to them, when my friends asked me, I said, look, just in terms of Man United, if you could merge Matic and Fred into one player, you know, take the pressing of Fred with the touch and passing of Matic, you'd have an amazing. He would be my holding fielder for Man United. That guy, the best parts of those two players, he would be my guy. I just don't know who the other guy would be. I'm trying to work out, because that's what like someone like a Basuma does. He was wicked the other day for Brighton. He's the kind of guy. But like, look, Fred. I mean, Scotty did a job for us today, but Burnley allowed us for him to do the job. They allowed us. I don't think many other teams are going to let us do that. Yeah, and my worry is obviously Maguire's off form. Bailly did a job, but Bailly's still rusty because you can't just use a guy like that a little bit here and there. He needs a run. I'm still very annoyed that I haven't seen Donny in the pivot yet. I haven't seen him play for at least 3 games in the pivot. I want to see it. So I'm going to be on Ralph's case until I see that. And then I look at like Sancho is still not the Sancho I saw at Dortmund. I agree it's a different thing. And then obviously we know Rashford's very off form. Greenwood, like I said, Greenwood missed a few chances today on opportunities. Greenwood, I guess he's trying to really impact because he's young. He wants everything to happen quick. So he's a bit sort of like, he almost tries too hard, So, but I'll cut him some slack because he hasn't played a lot recently. So I will cut him some slack. But he does give us an extra edge when we're getting his positions. Now, also Shaw, the difference between Shaw I find with Tellers as well is that Shaw's just much more dynamic. But I still haven't seen consistency for this guy. Only one phase in his whole Man United career, and that was last year. I haven't seen it in any of his career before that. I've not seen it. So he's still got a lot to prove, but he does bring energy. I just don't think he's got the sweetness of the left foot that Tellers has got, but he hasn't got the pace. Tellers hasn't got the pace, and Shaw has. So it's difficult. So everywhere I look in this Man United team, it's like, is it there? Is it not quite there? It's just not solid at all. And my worry is how is Ralph going to make these people into a serious team? How is it going to happen? And I'm every day, and we're there thinking about ourselves. I mean, what do you think, bro? I mean, what do you think is going to take, looking at our team like that, brother, CM, what do you think is going to take to change it? Does he have to get rid of them all? What's it going to take?
I think, because, like we've all said before, this is going to take quite a while to make sure everybody understands. And I feel like with this system, especially this, like whether it's the 4-2-2-2 or whatever formation we're playing, it's about the manager simplifying everything for the players. Because I think what we saw after the Crystal Palace game was a lot of confusion. Players not knowing where they need to be, what they need to do at a certain time, and all those kind of stuff like that. And Ralph, what he needs to quickly find out is what players are best suited for how he wants to play first and foremost, and what players are going to give him that impact if he needs to take people off the bench, for example, stuff like that. So first and foremost, Ralph Rangnick needs to find out who can be relied on in this squad and who will thrive better in situational moments.
But can I just say, sorry, can I interrupt you a second? Can I just say though, do you think he's actually maybe thinking, I can't play the way I want to play with these players? Do you think he's thinking that?
I think with the changes of formation, that could be an indication. I think the other day, I remember he switched it to in Newcastle game. He switched to the 4-3-1-2. I think he did.
Something
and then
like
today today was the 4-4-2, looking for a bit more width. So I think Ralph Rangnick will probably analyze that if he, like he says he has, and say possibly I do need to ease these players into something rather than pushing them to play a completely different way, especially halfway through the season. I generally think with more, training sessions, more, games under their belt, they will get better with time. It's also about their fitness levels lifting, because like you guys said, and we've all said, the fitness is very shocking. Ali Boumaye mentioned that we can't just go from a team that runs very little to run
the least out of any team.
Exactly. So I think fitness will be one of the most.
But wait a second, I've got a point though. Wait a second, you just said that, but I read today that Conte has taken Spurs from one of the least running teams to the team that runs the most.
Yeah.
So I don't like to make these points about a team can suddenly become a really fast running team and can run for kilometers full game, and from a team that used to run like hardly ever. I don't know that. I'm not a fitness coach, but I read today that Conte is doing that kind of thing with Tottenham already. These are professional athletes, guys. They all they do is train every day for football, and football is their life. They're professional athletes. So I do believe they can. I'm just not sure whether they want to, or if they've got the hunger, desire, or will to do it. I don't know. I really don't know. But I mean,
listen, Irv, listen. I mean, my voice is gone. I did say that's why a lot of people were having a go at me on Twitter when I was saying the formation has to change because these players cannot play in the formation that he wants them to play. The thing about Conte and Spurs, they have had kind of, what do you call it? More time. He's had more time with him. He's been there longer than Ralph's been there, and obviously all the disturbance.
But not that much longer, Nuruddin.
And he has, and he was. Do you remember when he came in? He came in for a month and a bit. Ralph has been there for weeks, 3 weeks.
How much longer? How much longer has Conte been?
Guys, listen. Do you know, with regard to this, it doesn't really bear much. I mean, Conte, he's putting his stamp on the team now. But in 3 weeks' time, we've seen this before, haven't we? Where a manager comes in, it's like, oh, look at how fast they're playing so well. There's going to be a dip because Tottenham have had 7 managers in approximately the same time as us. It's 2 years tops. So they've even sacked managers, 2 or 3 of them within a year. So Conte's here. We know Conte's a disciplinarian. He's going to take no bullshit, and he will whip them to get them in shape. But we've seen it at Tottenham. It can all blow up straight away. Ralph Rangnick might start slow, but he might be building something. So I think with this whole Man United thing, you'll see me do what I usually do, which is one game at a time, observing what is happening that is good. What do I like? What do I think could be better? And I think Ralph Rangnick is doing the same thing as well. Obviously, he has a long-term plan and vision, but he is going to, through this process, do 2 things. One, see who is on board with this program and who can be part of this team, as Dino is saying, and who am I going to need? Where are the deficiencies where I can go and get 2, 3, maybe 4 players even? So it is, I'm not going to be able to run. I need to learn how to walk first and how to crawl. And that's how this process is going to work with Ralph Rangnick. Today 4-4-2 and what I said.
My problem with that, though, what you just said, though, is that what if he doesn't make top 4? Because he's going to be gone. He doesn't make top 4. This guy's gone. He's going to be upstairs or whatever. He's not.
Well, this is something every fan will tell you something different. I believe personally, to make top 4 is not a God-given right anymore. The way things went for us, we're over halfway through a season, and he's having to pick a team up that was decimated mentally and in terms of its play. You see how the players are so poor. Maguire is awful. Luke Shaw all of a sudden was dreadful.
Yeah.
Rashford is so poor. Everybody's just gone off the ball.
He's lost so much confidence. Yeah.
So it is difficult. It is difficult
dropping Rashford.
Yeah, he did. It was a good call. So there are things that, in isolation when I think about it, because me personally, I come here and I'm trying to analyze what Ralph's doing. So dropping Rashford was a good thing. Putting Derek in and giving Varane a rest because Varane came back a bit quick, because he made that mistake in the last game. It shows that he was thinking. So he did well with Bailly. He did well giving Rashford a break. He did well bringing Matic in and keeping Fred off again.
Irfan, look at Luke Shaw's performance today. Did you not feel that this person had something to prove today?
Absolutely. That's another positive because
and this is what you've got to do with these players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to think overall and step back and look at what Ralph is doing. What's he seeing in the players to make them a better unit? So obviously, dropping Shaw for how many games he's missed, but it worked, didn't it? It worked. We all agree it worked for him. Yeah, it worked. So who else is he doing that with? I mean, like he brought Wan-Bissaka today. Did that move work out well? Was that a good thing?
CM, what did you think?
I think Wan-Bissaka was a little half and half today. I thought you saw in his touch that he lacked a lot of confidence. Unlike Shaw, who was driving forward, he was aggressive. He wanted to make something happen. And like Ali Boumaier said, Wan-Bissaka got in the positions. But the problem with him, and it's always been a problem with Wan-Bissaka, is that his touch is negative. Every time he takes a touch, it's going backwards to taking a touch there and passing it into someone else. And I think that's what we saw a lot in Wan-Bissaka in forward positions. Defensively, we know one-on-one defending. Most of the time, he wins those battles. Positionally, he's a bit he could get better. But I think the biggest development we'll see in Aaron Wan-Bissaka is him being positive in attacking areas. You know, taking that touch, whipping the ball in first time, maybe. You know, improving his first touch to the point where he doesn't have to panic or make a last-ditch tackle to try and win it back.
Yeah, but brother, has he really been that guy that comes in and whips the ball in first touch? Because look, if you look at his career at Man United, he came in and we all buzzed off the fact that this guy was a serious tackler. He was such a brilliant defensive guy, and he looked like a world-class defensive midfielder. But we all knew that he didn't have much going forward. And then we saw the middle phase of his career for Man United, where he started to try and become this aggressive, sort of forward-driving, right back. Like all the modern ones are. But we saw it was very hit and miss. And then we're seeing the third phase of Wan-Bissaka now, where his confidence is gone. Off-field stuff's been happening. He's dropped from a team back and back, and he started making mistakes, even to the point where he was mistiming tackles. You didn't see that amazing timing of tackles. Even that went. So his confidence needs to be lifted back up. But I'm trying to work out whether the competition for places with him and Dalot has done him any favors, like it's done with Shaw and Tellez. I'm trying to work that out,
Well, I feel like certain methods of coaching affects players in different ways. They always speak about a coach being aggressive towards a certain player and then being soft to another. Same way this way, you might drop a player and he might not react at all. Maybe he's just a mellow guy, a level-headed person that, not a lot affects him. Obviously, you see the off-field antics is kind of hampering his game possibly. But I think in terms of Wan-Bissaka, it's a confidence thing, and he definitely will get better over time. Like you said, obviously, his offensive game is not there. But for me, the coaches need to be able to analyze that, take him in, whether it's doing extra film sessions, extra hours on the training pitch, and seeing how he can improve, how you can be more positive on the football pitch, so that in those certain positions, he gets the confidence to say, all right, then I'd rather whip the ball in than pass it back and let someone else do it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, bro, but me personally, I don't think you can change a play like that, a naturally defensive guy into attacking right back. I just don't think it's possible. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be very wrong when I say this, but I can't think of players who've made massive transformations who started out like this and became somebody else in that position. I mean, they probably are. I just can't think of them. Tell me somebody who's made a massive transformation who was once a defensive guy. Somebody else.
I'll tell you what I'd say to that is, I understand what you're saying. For me, for example, when I look at Wan-Bissaka, I'm quite a fan, and I do think he did improve on the ball. He would drive it a little bit more. I think today, yes, it was, as CM said, it was half and half. For me, he's on about a 6 today. I thought defensively he did some good work. His passing wasn't always bad. It was okay, but going forward, it was negative. And some of the passes were bad. It's the first game back after an injury. But when we bought Wan-Bissaka, it wasn't for the attacking intent. We were defensively disastrous, we needed some shoring up, and he certainly brought that. I think with him, I'm not looking for him to become.
He did in the first phase of his career. Let's just get it right. He did in the first phase of his Man United career. He did shore us up defensively, but I'm saying in the second half he hasn't.
Bro, look,
is gone.
You're gonna players will have good games, bad games, and stuff like that. It's just part of it, but it doesn't define what they've done in the previous season or the previous 10 games or the next 10 games. It's just a bad day at the office. You have to accept these things. Do I want to turn Aaron Wan-Bissaka into Alexander-Arnold or Reece James or Cancelo, or do I believe I can? I don't think so. What I want from him,
I don't think
is the person. What I see in him is, first and foremost, I want somebody that can defend, which I've got, and I see somebody that has no issue going past the halfway line. Some players, if you ask them to go past the halfway line, they start to panic. He doesn't do that. But when he gets to that top part, I do like it when he tries to take them on and get the ball in. He often isn't able to, but I like the fact that he tries.
No,
What I'd like to see from him simply is use the pace of the ball. Gary Neville was not this wonderful fullback, but Gary Neville, the ball would come out to him. He wouldn't take a touch to control it. He uses the pace of the ball to get a ball into the box, and he became better and better and better. For me, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it's pretty simple. Look, Aaron, as part of your repertoire, I'm going to pass the ball out to you. I want you to use the pace of this ball and just try different things. Float one in, leather one in. We've got good players here in the box. Keep trying to make a yard. Don't always rely on Greenwood coming behind you, you passing it back and him having to cut it in and whack it, or Bruno from midfield backing you up instead of you trying to do something. Bam. But what's also happening, and you'll find with Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka, that's his habit, you don't find Bruno going round the back of him to take the defender away to open the space anymore. You don't find the players that would, as a midfielder, that's what you do. Drag Meno, open the space for him to get the ball in, because they know seldom he's not going to try that often. And when it doesn't work for him, sometimes you do find him, right, he succumbs, and don't succumb. We got nothing to lose. One way or another one, if you want to play here, you're going to have to start improving in that department. This is modern football. And I think it is very doable. I'm not saying Alex Arnold, but it is doable.
We're going to find out. We're going to see the next game against Wolves.
Yeah. Listen, let's do you want to do player ratings and let the fans get involved?
Yeah, we can. I mean, I'm just going to say what Joshua Abimiku just said, that it was to me, it was also one of the highlights for me today was to win without Bruno. That for me was a big plus today. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but that made me feel a little bit better when I think about it. When I realized, because the second half was a sloppy game, and I was also a bit annoyed at the fact, mainly because Cavani wasn't in the game at all. I was hoping, I'm hoping to see some magic from them two together. I'm hoping for, but he wasn't in the game at all. He just wasn't in the game. But my biggest plus also was the fact, like I said, we won without Bruno. I want us to be winners without Bruno. I don't want us to rely on this guy, because, like I said, he's been off form for a while. I mean, what do you say, brother, about that, CM? What are you saying? That's a plus for us, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think not having Bruno in the team, and this is not
and we love Bruno. Let's be honest, we love the guy.
Exactly. This is not a knock on him, but I think it kind of it gave us less, predictability. I think a lot of the time, Man United are predictable as a team, especially with the way we play and the quickness we play. Because I think we, especially even now, we're playing a bit more of that 1-2 touch football, but a lot of the time we don't. We take 2, 3, 4 touches, and then it gives the defense. It allows the defense to just set up and wait for us to try and do something or make a mistake, which a lot of the times on our mistakes, we get punished. So I think what Ralph has got to work on with the whole team and everybody's fit is how do we become less predictable? How can we play the ball in a way where it's quick, it's effective, and it's clinical? Today in front of goal, we were clinical. Defensively, there's still some improvements to be made because, like we said at the start, it could have been a different scoreline if Burnley took some of their chances.
Definitely.
We've got to be quicker on the ball. The accuracy on the pass has got to be better as well, because a lot of the time we lack control and we make mistakes and concede goals from us just passing the ball away, simply. So the biggest thing Ralph has got to work on, I feel like, in his 6 months here, is making United less predictable. And that means not giving Bruno the ball as often and waiting for him to cross in the ball or create a chance for somebody else. Playing it around a bit, having combinations, triangles, switching the play a little bit, allowing other people to get into the game so that there's multiple threats and not just 1 or 2 or 3 that can create.
Yeah, so basically you're saying that to score lots of different types of goals.
Yeah.
Lots and lots. I mean, like, I read a stat yesterday that, I don't know, but is it right that City had 7 players score more than 10 goals each last year? 7 players. I mean, they are the epitome of scoring every different type of goal you could think of. So we need to get a little bit of that in our game. So let's go, Mr. Bombay. Let's do the player ratings then, because then we can get the all the listeners in, and they can get involved and they can give their scores as well. So I'll let you start off then. So De Gea, what we giving De Gea?
Nuruddin, we're going to give you the deciding vote here.
Yeah,
you were at the game, all right. So you give us the yay or the nay. So
no,
De Gea,
he's not well. He's not well. He was not well. So I don't think he didn't go to the game today. Did he? Missed it. No, he didn't. No, he was not well. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't go.
He didn't go. No.
God.
He's been ill since all afternoon. He called me this afternoon. He said he
well. I thought he was ill trying to get back for the game. The cold got him, the shock of the victory. But anyway, okay, Dino. Yeah. De Gea 6, man.
Yeah, average is 6. Six being the average, we'll give him a 6. Yeah, because he didn't really have that much to do. Yeah, we'll give him a 6. Yeah. All right. So what about Luke Shaw?
I give Luke Shaw.
Guys, we want you, all you guys listening. You can put your scores up as well as we give them up.
I would give Luke Shaw a 7.
A 7 as well.
What did you give Shaw? Sorry, what did you give Mr. Bombay? What did you give Shaw?
A 7.
Yeah, I give him a 7 as well. And you see him, you give him a 7 too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go for right back. Let's go for Wan-Bissaka.
6.
A 6. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that.
This is it's an average. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Bailly?
7.
Yeah, 7.
I give him a 7. Although, would you say it was his mistake when Lennon scored, because it was his touch that sort of he lost control?
I'll accept it still, though, man. A general game, you know. I mean, he had a good one today. I tell you.
Yeah. I just think naturally, even when he's not like on best of form, I just think he's just a different level. I just think he would get in my team ahead of Maguire any day. He really would.
And you know what he has, which Maguire lacks, is that no fear factor. It's aggression. Aggression. Yeah, I see Maguire. He lets the ball bounce. He lets other people get to the ball before he attacks it. You
know what he's got? He's got a bit of Vidic about him. He's got a bit of Vidic about him. That's what Bailly's got. Fearless warrior. He's a warrior. Yeah. You know, and I like that, you know, and they are going to make mistakes. People decided he's, but we'll give him a 7. What did you say, Olibomba? You give him a 7 as well? What do you give him?
I think so. Yeah, he deserves a 7. He
played above average, so we give him a 7. So okay, so what about Maguire?
I go with
I'm going to give Maguire a below average 5. I'm going to give him a 5. I still think he looks slippy, still like Bambi in places, and when he's like you said, holding on to people, especially at the end. It drives me. It shows me a guy who's weak and confident, lacking confidence. Yeah. So I'm going to give him a 5.
Yeah, I would say he didn't have his strongest performance at all. I didn't think he was terrible. Yeah, I didn't think he was great either. So
it's funny because I'm looking at the comments. Atif has given him 0. Natalie's given him 4. Logan's given him 5. Super Nick's 5. Yeah. Joshua is giving him 3.
Let's listen. Add up all those markings. It might turn out 5.
No, it won't. Listen, there's a couple of zeros here, so it's going to be like a 3. I think it's going to be if you add them all up. It's going to be 3. A lot of our fellow listeners do not rate Maguire at all. They're not having it at all. I mean, come on, captain, man, meant to play by example.
And so that's the thing. We're speaking about confidence with him.
Yeah.
That's our leader.
The leader's meant to be a special guy, you know, who's there to drive the team forward, man. Come on. Okay, look, let's get into Matic. What do you think, Matic? I would give Matic a 6.5, slightly above average. You know, I would give him.
Yeah, I think he did the simple things in the game.
He did the simple things well. He did. Yeah.
What do you think, fabulous? I'd go with you guys. Yeah, 6.5 is a good one. Actually,
just above average. Yeah. So we go with 6. Okay, so and Scott,
8.
I'm going to give him a 7.5.
I think in that first half he was at 8, and then the level slightly dropped in the second half. So I would agree. I would agree with either 8, 7.5 between that region.
Yeah. So
because
yo, listen, it's New Year's. Be nice, man. 8.
Man, I give him a 7.5.
I see him. You've got the Santa hat on, man.
You know what? Yeah, we can allow Scott and give him an 8 because in the end of the day,
let's give him an 8. Let's give Scott an 8. Stephen and everyone out there who thinks I hate McTominay, I'm giving him an 8. Okay.
Oh, nice. Man.
Make sure you've
made my New Year, boys.
Yeah. Make sure. No, he can't. I like the guy. I think he's got the right attitude. I just don't think he's got the United DNA in him. I don't think he's got it. I don't think he's not a keen or just hasn't. But I like the fact he's got the right attitude. He's definitely got the right attitude. I'll give him that. So we'll give him an 8. So let's go on to Sancho. What we're giving Sancho?
I'll give Sancho a 6.5.
Yeah,
Because
6.5. Yeah, 6.5.
Hang on. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you saying? Are you saying 6.5 as well? Yeah.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Yeah. So we're giving him. So we agree on Sancho. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say he has some positives in the game. Like Ali said, I loved what he did off the ball today. He was really aggressive, and he tried to make whoever he was pressing or whatever feel him. So I respected his off-ball work. On ball, obviously, he was involved in the second goal. Maybe probably should have been given to him, but in the end of the day, more to come from Jadon Sancho for sure, and he will thrive when the team thrives together.
But bro, am I not allowed to say we bought this guy for 74 million? Am I not allowed to expect more from this guy?
We all are allowed to, but you know what? You could get on board with him. You can, like you can see it with Donny. You have to see it with Sancho. That it is there.
I saw the goals he scored for Dortmund. I saw what this guy did. I saw him setting up Haaland all the time. I saw this guy. I thought when I saw this guy like a couple of years ago, I was like, wow, this guy's a baller. This guy's a serious player. Such an intelligent footballer.
Bro, but he's a young lad.
Yeah, it hasn't happened for him at United. I haven't seen that play that I saw for Dortmund yet. So
he knows it himself, bro. But it's there. It's there. And as we get better, he is gonna start to enjoy it more.
Okay. So what are we giving Greenwood then? I'm giving Greenwood a 6.5. Just above.
I think I'll go with the 7 there.
You give him a 7, yeah.
I would say I would favor a 6.5. I think his and Sancho's performances were similar in a way where they were both aggressive, but it just didn't. But for both of them, obviously Sancho is involved in the goal, but for both of them as a whole, it didn't really piece together 100%. I think Greenwood was unlucky with one of the chances where Cavani passed it into him. He tried to flick it for the first time, but I thought, in Greenwood and Sancho, we have two guys that are going to be versatile going forwards in whatever system we play for this club, and hopefully, like I said, as we get better, you'll see those guys thrive.
Yeah. I mean, look, they switch wings. Remember the wing play switch. I thought actually Greenwood made some good runs when he had some space on the left. And it looked like if the pass was right, or he could just had a little bit of now that he could have made some openings. But again, I felt for him today because he needed more game. He just looked a bit rusty to me today. Like scuffing shots and things like that. Just not the sweet right foot or left foot we've seen from that we normally expect from him. So we'll cut him some slack because he hasn't played much. Okay, so on to Cavani then. Now this is an interesting one. I'm going to give Cavani a 6. I can't give him more than 6.
I would give him a 5.5.
Yeah, I was going to say 5.5 because he just wasn't in the game at all. Actually, let me change mine to a 5.5. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to change mine because he was. I wonder what our fellow listeners think about Cavani today, because I love this guy. I'd love him in the team every game. At least half if every game I'd give him. But he was invisible today. He was invisible, like Logan's just said. Super Nick, Alan saying Cavani like missing today. Alien, sorry, Tenno saying Natalie's Cavani 5 not there today. Why was that?
Yeah, could even
this guy runs for days. This guy never stops running. So what happened? What made this guy be invisible today?
I think that we saw it. Go on, Ali.
Go on.
No. Sorry, you go ahead, bro. You go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the other day where Cavani came on and Ronaldo kind of had that game where there was hardly any involvement from him. It's kind of like that situation.
Was it wrong?
Obviously, I think it was a situation like that. We do speak about a lot of the time being a striker at Manchester United is a difficult role because you can get in the positions, but sometimes you're just not found. The other day, it was a similar situation for Ronaldo, and then he started to huff and puff for the rest of the game. And I think Cavani
is that because you're saying that you can get in the right positions, but none of the team will find you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think a lot of the time that's the situation for some of our strikers.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Lack
a big
of service,
problem
man.
when you've got a striker the caliber of Cavani and you're not finding him. That to me is like a major issue in the team.
It is.
It happens. It happens. But you know, when you watch Edison Cavani today, the tapping Ronaldo has, Cavani's in the right place waiting for it if Ronaldo ain't gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know? He's in the right places. He's in the right place. But the final goals
Why did Ralph give him a whole game, though? Explain that to me, Mr. Bombay. Why would Ralph give him a full game? You need to like look after your prize assets, not work him to death. He didn't need to be on the pitch for 90 minutes today, did he?
He's not played a lot, Cavani. You know, he's been out for a long time, and he also at 34 years old does have to improve his fitness. Today, this is what I was thinking. We had the opportunity, even with 10 minutes to go, perhaps with 15. Nobody would have cried or, you know, felt bad if Donny got 15 minutes or Jesse or anybody. We were 2 goals up. It was, you know, it was all right. Not long to go, but I do believe these lads are playing the full 90 minutes when they didn't need to. He wants them to get tired. He wants them to play. I could be way wrong, but that's what I think, because why not make a sub? But that's what I thought it was, because I do think there is an importance here with the energy it's going to take to play for him. And this is what I think maybe a few guys might jump.
There's some logic in what you're saying. I agree that it could be that he could be trying to push him to 90 minutes to see how much more he can get out of him and get his fitness levels up. It could well be right, that, because why else would he keep him on for 90 minutes? It doesn't make any sense. You don't need to keep him on for 90 minutes. Same with Ronaldo. You don't need to keep Ronaldo. Actually, let's move on to Ronaldo. Let's give Ronaldo. We're giving Ronaldo a 7 then?
Yeah, we go for this. I'll go with 7. Yeah,
I give Ronaldo. I would say. I'd say probably for I'm between a 6.5 and a 7, because I think Ronaldo, he got the goal today. Yeah, something in between, because for Ronaldo, he got the goal and he was in certain positions where I thought he could have done better or made better decisions.
Yeah,
in a split second.
Yeah.
But in the end of the
day, if we didn't get his goal, we will be having the conversation you're alluding to. But I think sometimes the goal, it just gives it that little sweetness. But you're right in terms of what he was doing. I agree.
But Mr. Bombay, we're expecting the goal. That's the thing. Problem for us, we're expecting him to score every single game. He scored 4 in 5 now.
Bro, this is why Ronaldo is Ronaldo, because he lives with that expectation and usually delivers. But, you know, when you get that goal, you could see, you know, he breathes easy now. He's got his goal.
Yeah. He lifts him up. Yeah. Yeah,
and then he starts doing his step overs and all that stuff. That the crowd.
Look, you know, there's a bit of theatre. There's a bit of that sort of play thing in football. It's entertainment at the end of the day, and he knows he's been entertaining fans for God knows how many years now, 15 years or so. Come on. You remember when he came to United and all he would do was step overs? You remember he'd do 10 step overs to take on one guy? Remember what he was like? So look, he's an entertainer, and that's why I fell in love with Brazilian football, because of the entertainment. It's like I said, I've never seen entertainment like it. But okay, so look, looking at the comments from all our listeners, we're pretty in sync with the listeners. No one's miles off. I mean, the only difference I could see is they think we were scoring Maguire too high, because I saw a couple of 0s and 1s and 2s and 3s. So. You know, our supporters on the channel, they're not with us. They're really down on Maguire. They don't rate Maguire at all. You know, which is, I understand that. I get that, because he's captain. You know, he's got to really shape up if he wants to stay in his team, or we're not going to be successful if he doesn't shape up. That's not going to happen for us.
Just right, like how there's an expectation on Ronaldo, there's a heightened expectation on Harry Maguire to be that
as
leader.
As Nuruddin said at the start of this year, one of the problems or conundrums with bringing Ronaldo in is everyone's expectation went to a different level. That's the fan, the dinner lady, your mum, everyone. What, right? Even my mum, right? Ronaldo's back United. Whoa, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know, exactly. the elevation and expectation of him coming to the club. I mean, you could say it was a blessing or a curse. You could say both, but that is what happened. Even the media. Everyone else, fans, all the ABUs, you know, they're always expecting, oh man, they got Ronaldo, they're going to do some business this year, and it hasn't quite happened for us, has it? So, You know, so it is a blessing in it to some degree, but also a curse. So we just got to watch that. So look, let's just do a little quick. So before we end off the show, let's just do a little quick point look to.
Don't forget man of the match.
Oh yeah, we're giving it to Scott. Let's give it to Scott. Yeah, we're giving man of the match to Scott. Yeah, Amazon gave it to him, so we have to give it to him. Yeah. Oh, we agree with that?
Yeah, I'd agree. We
got to give it to Scott. We got to give it to Scott.
Gonna sleep good tonight, man.
Yeah. No, he deserves it. I won't lie. Even, like I said, I'm not his biggest fan, but he does deserve it when I think about it. He does deserve to be man of the match.
He drove us forward in that first half for sure.
He did. It's nice to see him get shots on, to tell you the truth, because I want to see him more forward, but like I said, we just don't have that midfield. We don't have a midfield where I think, he can push forward because I know behind him it's all taken care of. We just don't see that very often at Man United. We just don't. And that's one of our biggest problems. So look, on to Wolves now. Now, this is going to be a very difficult.
What do you guys give Ralph?
Oh, yeah, we didn't give Ralph a score. Good, interesting. I'm going to give him a 6.5. I want to see what the listeners give what score to give Ralph as well. What are you saying, brother CM? What are you saying?
Yeah, I'd give Ralph a 7. I think
7, so slightly above average.
Yeah, because I think in terms of the way we played in that first half, the way we were clinical, I think at the end of the day we got the job done. But that first half, it covered a lot for the second half, and maybe you can take a bit off for the second half, possibly. Maybe why you've given a 6.5. But I thought a lot of us maybe question the team selection, but in the end of the day, the way he deployed Matic to give Scott McTominay that freedom, the wing play kind of gave us a different option today as well.
Yeah,
I think that really helped us in this victory.
Indeed, yeah, fair comment, man. What you say, Mr. Bombay? What's your score for Ralph?
I think a very, very solid 7. In an isolated game like this, in the context of currently what we're up to, a solid 7 today. I'm very happy with him. He changed the formation from 4-2-2-2, went 4-4-2. And I like the way he conducted the game. I thought he did really well. I liked it today.
So are we saying that the tactical nous and in-game play is better with Ralph from what we've left with Ollie? Are we seeing an improvement? Are we seeing a guy who's a better thinker? We've definitely seen that. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I would say he's definitely better in terms of making that change from game to game. I think what a lot of the fans appreciate as well is he will analyze that game in those press conferences and let everybody else know what he thought, so that other people can kind of think about his way of analyzing the game and then dial the way they think. So I think that's the thing we appreciate about Ralph, the way he analyzes in his press conferences rather than kind of making excuses. In terms of a game-to-game thing, he will make the changes. I'm confident in that. He will make the changes that we need to see, especially in terms of the formation, the players. It's just about, like I said before, him feeling out the team, feeling out the squad. And like you said, hopefully we'll see guys like Donny a bit more. That's if he doesn't leave in January. But
that's my only thing so far.
We'll see.
I don't think he's used Donny enough. That's my question mark or cloud over him at the moment.
We need Donny to go. Donny needs to go on the 1st of January. He needs to head out. What I saw from the game today, me personally, was that he realized that after the Newcastle game, that what he asked the players to do, they were not going to do. They can't play the system that he wants to play. So he plays super open, changed the formation, and that's a really good adaptable manager. You know what I mean? Somebody who can adapt the players. And then he said 4-4-2. We will match Burnley and we'll fight for the second ball, and our quality will show through. And that's what it was. So it was the weirdest game ever. I mean, that's what I was thinking. Am I just fever really that bad, or am I watching a game that's so weird? Even like atmosphere at Old Trafford.
You're right. It wasn't a typical Man United Burnley game that you get. It wasn't that game at all. It wasn't that game because they're much scrappier than this. They're much more physical. This was quite.
They've not played. They've been ravished by COVID.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. Not played for 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've not played. They've only won one game this season. They've drawn 7 or 8.
But my point of bringing this sort of like conversation into Wolves game is that I need to see that this guy is making very smart, logical, proactive decisions in the team. That's what I need to see. And I know he's better with his substitutions because Ollie was horrendous with substitutions. We know that he was just too indecisive. So I just want to know game to game that Ralph is on top of what's going on and he's making sane, smart decisions. That's all I'm sort of talking about here.
But he's realised that the pressing, the energetic, the intensity, the physicality, the technical, the tactical ability, the 4 things he judges football games on: tactical, technical, physicality, mentality. They don't have. Man United players don't have. That's why it was a weird game for us to analyze. A really weird.
Because you see,
go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the way he changed the formation today was a positive, with the way the players in the team played. But we need to see a lot more going forward, because if I compare that to Ole, I remember times Ole had his pattern 4-2-3-1, but when times got tougher, he would switch in panic mode almost to a 5 at the back. We can't be switching in panic. There's got to be a clear plan where when you're switching formations, it's not the players playing the same like we saw under Ole. There's a clear difference.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see what he does against Wolves. I think 4-3-3 is our best formation. And in a way, when you got 3 in midfield, it's our way to dominate the game. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens against Wolves, because Wolves will pose us totally different levels. You see what they did to us in the first game of that game of the season. That what they did, they will counter attack in the transition. They've got players with pace. They've got players with power. So it's going to be very interesting, man. But listen, big up to every one of you in here, man. Thank you, CM, Irfan, Bumbaye, I'm absolutely gone. I'm going to go right back to bed. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I've not done a test yet. I'm going to do a test tomorrow, so we'll see. But I think I don't think I've got COVID. I think I've just got normal flu or cold.
There's a cold going around, or there is a cold going around as well. And people are mixing the two up, but you should take the test and just find out,
Yeah, of course. But anyway, big up to every one of you. Big up to everyone. Please, there's over 70 of you here watching. Smash a like. We will be back in the next couple of days with the preview.
When's the preview, Nuruddin, for Wolves? When's that?
Most likely we will do it on Sunday night.
Yeah. So and the game's on Monday, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do it on Sunday night. But big up. And Scott McTominay, 100% man of the match. And I always said, into my defense, I've always said he's never been a defensive midfield player. You limit him so much. Yeah. He is, like Oli Bumbaye said, that he was a striker at times at United, so he's always got a great shot on him. And thank God, we won. But it was not your typical Man United Burnley game, because Burnley are not where they need to be, and we are certainly not where we're to be. But Ralph has realised this high tempo business is not Man United. It did not look.
No, it's not this Man United. It's not this Man United.
Yeah, it did not look. That performance did not look too dissimilar from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at times. That's a fact. But it's the players. It's the players we need to adapt to. But I was so happy because I thought with a 4-2-2-2 we were not creating chances. Today we created chances. But how many chances did Burnley create today? Any other day, any other team, if we played Spurs today, we would have got whacked. If we would have played Arsenal, we would have got whacked. Yeah. If we would have played Liverpool and Man City, good night Vienna. Right? Seriously. The chances that they created, the sitters that they missed was incredible. So love to you all. Big up.
Yeah, we were a bit lucky. We were a bit lucky, especially the Vidra chance, it was like, wow, we were lucky. But again, we're a game-to-game riding our luck team at the moment. When look at the table, we're only 4 points behind Arsenal with a game in hand. And no matter how we're winging it, we just got to make sure we're close to that fourth with 10 games to go. That's the only hope we've got, I think, with this team.
The positivity is that we won. We won, and our team, after not making chances in the last couple of games, tonight we could make chances. I mean, Greenwood, that wasn't an offside. If Cavani hits the keeper's face, Greenwood. So we were making chances. We did. We opened them up, and our individual brilliance showed through today.
We need 2 45s like the first 45. That's what we need, and we're not there yet. That's what we need.
We're not there yet. big up to every one of you, man. Big up. Thank you so much, guys, for carrying the show, man. Hope to get better really soon, and thank you for all the best wishes, people. I'm gonna go back to bed. Peace, love.
Well, thanks everyone.
Yeah. Big up to every one of you. Honestly, please smash a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel.
We'll catch you the preview. But thanks for listening, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks to Illy Bombay, obviously Nuruddin, the host. And hopefully we'll be able to catch you. And hopefully we're not going to see everyone until New Year, are we now?
No. See you in the New Year.
Happy New Year.
A happy New Year to all the wicked people out there listening to the channel. Big up from everyone here, and we wish you the most happy 2022 that we can. So
100%.
Stay cool, people.
We always say win, lose or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. We never let that. Never. And I was so happy to hear them singing anti-Glazer songs in the stadium. I could hear it watching it.
Wow. Okay.
Well done to all.
Yeah, you could hear it from Hume. Yeah.
No, I can hear her watching the game.
Yeah, you can hear her in the game. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Well, big up to every one of you, man. Big up to every one of you. Honestly, happy New Year, people. I hope you have a healthy one, man. Honestly, happy New Year, guys, and happy New Year to everybody who contributed to this channel. Yeah. Without you guys, we haven't got a community. 100%. Like you see tonight, I was just sat here because I can't really speak. My throat is gone. I'm in a bit of a daze. So big up to every one of you, man. Thank you, Irfan. Thank you, CM. CM, let them know where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it once again. CM22ENT on socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube and Twitch.
There you go. Go and find him there, a gamer. He's there. Hopefully, sorted his internet out.
It's here and there.
Yeah, it's here and there. My Twitter is just strictly politics. But my Instagram is music, so pick and choose which one you want. But Instagram, music, Twitter, only politics.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you can find him.
And raise a glass to William Wallace. Pick up yourselves. Wish everybody a blessed 2022, God willing. Boris Johnson can take Priti Patel and the gang and head out. And maybe we can change change our fortunes, hopefully, in this new year.
Happy New Year. And and least of all, happy birthday.
Is it Fergie's birthday? Is it 8 tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Is it today?
No, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right. So there was a win for Fergie's
birthday to the greatest manager ever in English football.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, listen, the channel is going to come. We'll talk about the Lammy situation.
Oh, no, don't get me started on David Lammy. I could do the whole hour on that guy, but,
don't ruin it. Don't ruin it, man. We won 3-1. Don't mention them. Forget them.
We'll talk David Lammy. We'll talk. When we get the politics show together, we'll talk David Lammy, because I have to take on a lot of my fellow West Indian brothers and sisters about David Lammy. I take him on. So, I love talking to him about David Lammy because he's a very interesting cat to observe, He is a career MP, but we'll get to the politics. Me and Nuruddin, we've watched this guy's career for a long time. He's a Tottenham MP. We have a lot of friends who live in Tottenham. We know the score with this guy. So a lot of people don't really know the full deal about David Lammy, and he has done a lot for community, especially post Grenfell. He did a lot, but there's a big but with this guy, a very, very big but. But we'll save that for when we do the politics show.
Exactly. Listen, big up to every one of you, man, and happy New Year. For honestly, genuinely, from the bottom of all our hearts, happy New Year. I hope it's a healthy one. At the end of the day, we finished the other night. We were here. All we asked for was, can we go into the new year with 3 points? Can we win the last game of 2021? And we have done that. And that's all. So big up to all of the players. Big up to Ralph, big coaching staff. And Donny van der Beek, we wish you luck in your next club.
I don't want you to leave, bro. I don't want him to leave yet, man. Come on.
You can't stay. You can't stay, man. But anyway, love, 3-1. You don't win 3-1 any day. And like he said, the McTominay great.
First time we had 3 goals in the first half since February. First time 3 goals.
There we go. There we go.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Love. Take care, people.
Right, take care, people.
We'll lose or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. There you go. Take care. Peace.
Right, Nuruddin, get some rest, man.
Oh.